aggressive voices.
It's so weird
when it
because I could
starts
see us on
recording.
Facebook and on our computer. And there's a delay.
I really hate that. I really hate that.
And I'm in my pajamas. Like, I'm in a 3X shirt, just like, meh.
I'm in a really nice shift dress. It's very comfortable.
Look at us. We're just in the polar opposite outfits. I just took a bath. I fit him in my jammies.
I want to take a bath.
I know, you were like...
I just came back from a Brazilian steakhouse for my brother's 30th birthday, and I'm drunk, so yay. Here we are. I have so many feelings.
I should change my name.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Bridget.
And this is Bridget.
I'm changing my name on the video.
There we go. Anime. I will never, ever say we should introduce ourselves again because my older brother made fun of me today because he listened to our first episode and he was just like, "You're so lame." And I don't care how old you are. When your older brother tells you that you're lame, it will
hits
always
you
hurt.
In the heart.
It will always.
That's why I'm the older sibling.
Christian Tate. It will always hurt. Happy 30th birthday. I love you. I hope you like your ficus. We got him a ficus.
I was like, is that an insult?
No, it was a really nice ficus. It blooms. So it's a good house plant. It was a good gift.
It blooms.
It does. It blooms and makes flowers.
It was the hand. It blooms.
It blooms.
Lauren gestured her hand really cutely.
Guys, I'm having a day. I've been up since 2 and I'm intoxicated. So I apologize in advance. But I also haven't talked to Bridget in like a long time because I went to Comic-Con and I met the love of Bridget's life outside of a bathroom.
I'm
on accident.
Still really jealous about that.
Did I tell you the whole story?
Yes, I made you.
I was in the I'm gonna tell the viewer. I'm gonna tell you, viewer. Michelle, because I know you're listening.
We have one person, but it won't tell me who's watching. So if you're watching, put something in the chats.
Just our homie. It's gotta be. I don't know anyone else. I don't trust anyone else.
It's either Michelle or my friend Sam.
Oh, hi Sam, maybe. But also hello Michelle, because I know it's you in my heart. But we were in a panel for Jim Lee, who's the creative director of DC Comics, and I had a very large Starbucks coffee in the middle of this, and I had ordered non-dairy milk. They gave me the dairy milk, and my tummy was like, hey, you should not be in here right now. So in the conference hall, there are 2 different bathrooms. There's one directly outside the conference hall, which is very public and everyone sees it. But then there's also like a secret bathroom that's all the way around the second hall that no one goes to. So I was like, well, I'm about to die, so I'm going to go to that bathroom. And as I was speed walking to that bathroom, freaking Hayden Christensen, Anakin, freaking walks out of the men's room, and we just make weird eye contact, and then I shout,
so jealous.
Hi, and then I ran away.
That's how I met Spike from Buffy.
Myself.
That's how I met Spike from Buffy, my very first Comic-Con.
I had even, committed to not meeting him at that point, because I was like, this would be too mean to Bridget, and then I met him in the bathroom, which seemed like a weird fate coincidence.
Bathroom, lactose problems, Hayden Christensen. I am so jealous. I love him.
But I got you so many gifts. Do you want to see them?
I want to see them.
So first, I found this guy who took classical paintings and made them into nerd things.
Oh,
I've seen that. Them into postcards, and I got you a welcome to indoor postcard.
Oh my
It's got little Ewoks and stuff on it.
I love that. I've seen that guy's work. Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
You send me so many postcards. I was like, I have to give.
I do send you so many postcards. I love postcards.
There were also just so many sticker people everywhere that it was very overwhelming. But there was one particular sticker person that made Hobbit doors. So I got you all of the Hobbit doors.
I love
Are they cute?
If I ever can build my own house as a, like, grown-up, because I'm not grown-up yet, I want a Hobbit door.
Dude, I know. They're the best thing ever.
I want a blue Hobbit door with yellow flowers.
Did I get you? No, I got you a yellow Hobbit door. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
My bad. I also found this artist who was doing all of these sets of 3, and I was gonna get you the My Hero set, but they also had a Full Metal Alchemist set. So this is Ed as his father and Ed as himself.
And Ed dresses as his dad now. We talk about this.
I know. And then you have Mustang as Lust and Ed as Envy, which I knew you would love because you love Envy so much. And then
Is that 2 Roy Mustangs?
Exactly who this is. I think so. This one was confusing to me, but it came in the set, and the other 2 were so good that I wasn't exactly positive.
The left almost kind of looks like Lon Fawn, but I don't know. I love it.
It's weird. They have like an eye patch. I don't know. Maybe it's someone that
maybe we haven't met someone. Yeah.
And then I got you one more thing that I thought was perfect. I met these people who were obsessed with their cat, and they made all of these different things that were just their cat. They did comics and all this stuff, but they had this one enamel pin that they called Prince Puss, and I bought it for you. His name is Prince Puss, and I love him so much.
It just took my breath away. I'm obsessed. I hope to get to that level where I just make really high quality items of my cat. Peggy, you hear that?
They were so nice. I made so many friends. I bought so many Devilman Crybaby things. It was ridiculous. And I met my favorite comic book artist, Sean Murphy, and he doodled on my first edition Joe the Barbarian comics for me for free. He didn't make me pay for any of them. He was so freaking nice, and I cried talking to him, and his wife had to steer the conversation away because I was shaking nervous. So nice. Very nice man. But yeah, those are your Comic-Con gifts. Very separate from your Christmas gifts.
I love them.
I will be sending them shortly.
I'm so excited.
I'm glad you like them.
I'm not going to show you your Christmas gift, part 1 or part 2.
Well,
One's in the mail, and then the other one is waiting on one piece coming from Amazon, hopefully tomorrow, maybe, we'll see. But I did see Spider-Man today, and I won't spoil anything. I'll just say it was great. I loved it, and I cried a whole bunch, to the fact that I definitely had a migraine on the way home because I cried so much. But I loved it, and if you know me, I'm very passionate about Spider-Mans. I very much love my Spider-Mans, all of them. I am that person who people remember, oh, you liked Spider-Man 3 with Tobey? Yeah, I did. I really like that.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
One question. It's not a spoilery question. I just have to know. Is this the end of this everything?
No.
Is it the end?
No.
All right. That's all I needed to know.
As we know it. No, we knew that beforehand because Amy Pascal, who can never keep her mouth shut from Sony, said, we just signed on for 3 more Spider-Mans. But Tom Holland was toying with the idea of am I going to do Spider-Man until I'm 32 or what? But
yes,
there are 3 more Spider-Mans. I don't think this chapter's done yet.
Okay. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man, and as much as I love getting a new Spider-Man every 2 years,
I think this might be our first 4th Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of pressure.
Breaking barriers. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
It was great. I just can't wait to talk to you about it because it was great.
I probably won't be able to watch it till Monday at the earliest.
It's really painful,
no promises.
But that's okay.
I know.
I'll be driving for 2 days because I'm flying to DC tomorrow and then helping my friend drive down for the holidays for 2 days. I'm flying.
And you're gonna make it.
I'm going to make it.
You're gonna
I've already checked in my boarding pass and all that, so that's a step further than last time. So I think, therapy's working. I don't feel too anxious. It kind of feels like I was telling Lauren, it feels like an out-of-body experience kind of thing. But, yeah, so we'll see. Well, I fly tomorrow at 12:50, so should be good. And I forgot to check in for my boarding pass for 15 minutes, and I still am Group A, Seat 4. So I guess it's gonna be an empty plane. So it's fine by me. But yeah, so that, and then today in the mail, my zine came in of All Might.
Oh my god. Have you read it yet?
Yeah, it's so good. The art is so wonderful. It's nice quality. But look, this was my favorite one. Oh no. Oh no.
I can't see it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Your background is covering it.
There it is. There it is.
Oh.
Come back. How do I get it back? How do I get it back?
Do you ship
there it is.
Aizawa in All Might?
No, but I like it.
How does that make any sense?
I don't
Please explain.
I don't ship them in a romantic way. I ship them in a Aizawa is the caretaker and protector way. That. It's that injured All Might kind of. It sounds really weird. Okay.
It does.
He has to be injured, and Aizawa's the caretaker. That.
That's a very romantic
it's a really
trope.
I know, but it's really specific. Maybe it's just because it's me and I don't like PDA that much and I'm weird on it, but I really love them the caretaker thing. I like that. Anyway.
And not in a romantic way?
No.
That's weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird.
And then I got these cute little
probably
cards.
Normal.
Look at these cute little cards. There. Look, gardening. Small Mike gardening.
I can't see it.
Lauren,
so
why is my background this way? It's just me
it's
holding
okay.
up nothing. It's because it's green.
No.
Anyway, and then tilt it this way. No. Now I can't get it to do it again.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
so sorry.
It's really cute. And then this is the magazine cover, but it's shiny holographic.
I'm such a sucker for holographic stuff.
Me
dude. You know how many holographic art prints I bought at this stupid Comic-Con?
So many. I wish you could see the little Small Mike gardening because there's a cat. Oh, look, you can kind of see it. There's a cat on his back.
I can't. You're gonna have to send me a picture. It's so blurry.
It's so
I'm blind.
cute.
I'm sorry.
And I got a few stickers too, but I can't show you those because I gave you one of the stickers, 2 of the stickers, and one's on my luggage tag, and so I can't go get it because my luggage.
I thought they were just gonna be dirty. I'm sorry, my dog is.
Hootie patootie!
Oh my gosh, Hootie, you're being so much right now.
I was gonna say he's got your headphone.
Sheesh.
Hootie patootie.
Okay.
Why is nobody talking in our chat? It's so annoying.
Who's in it? There are lots of people?
I can't tell. Maybe that means no one.
Just,
somebody liked it. One. Somebody. Oh, my mom liked it.
Thanks, Mom!
She's in the other room and
she's just going to bed. Oh.
She's going to bed and she saw that I'm live now. And I love her so much. I love my mom.
Excuse you.
Hootie!
It's her way of thanking me for raising the alarm when I thought you were dead.
She felt so bad. She goes, I took you away. I was like, no, I completely forgot. I didn't put it on my calendar. And if I don't put it on my calendar, I don't remember. And Hootie, what do you have to say about that? If you hear mic noises, it's Hootie sniffing the mic.
Can you hear him?
I can hear the mic moving a little bit, and it was just I just looked up and it was Hootie's nose.
I'm so sorry. He's I've been gone for a few hours because again, my brother's birthday, we were getting crunk. He tried to convince me to do karaoke, and you know how hard that was for me to say no to.
You do love a good karaoke.
My grandmother was like, "Oh, I'll go," and I was like, "Oh, that would be great." my Mimi, I feel like I can say this because she'll never listen, is a very conservative Southern lady. The way she says my name is Lauren Elizabeth, and that's literally all you need to know about my grandmother to know exactly who she is as a person. And I adore her. She's kind of awful, but she's equally amazing. That's literally it.
That's
I
normally
love
how
my grandmother.
grandparents go, yeah.
And she was gonna karaoke, but we didn't end up going, and that's a disappointment. And they've never heard me sing full out before in my life.
Really?
None of my family.
Well,
Maybe my mom.
Give me their email and I'll send them that recording. All the things Dean's done.
Please, no. Anything but that. Do not ever give that to my mother.
I don't. I have it locked away in a safe place on my computer. Oh, I meant to give a shout out to the zine. It's by Hexagons Galore. They have a Tumblr, Twitter, and a big cartel. And look at that cute little business card. It's a cat. And then they even drew this really cute little drawing on the back that says, "Thanks for your support, Bridget." It's adorable. So, I don't know if they still have some, but if they do, you should definitely support them because it's got some great art, like Storm Call art. I think that's their name. Oh, is that Hootie making those little noises?
Yes. He hoots.
He snorted!
That's why we call him Hootie.
He hooted and then he snorted. He was like, oh, yeah. And then he went.
I always tell everyone that we named him Hootie after Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's what I thought for a really long time, was that y'all just really were like Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish fans, but
no.
Then you told me a few weeks ago about his little hoots.
He makes little hoots and it's real sweet.
Little hootie patootie.
He missed me. Anyway.
Alright.
We watched anime.
We did. And we took a little break because Lauren was gone, and then holidays and all that chaos, and then
Bridget
I disappeared.
Forgot about me.
Yeah, so Laura
for hours.
So yesterday I forgot that Lauren and I had said we were going to record at 6. I got home from working out. I was also late because I had to pick up my truck. My truck's been in the repair shop for 2 weeks because, shipping is horrible. It was a small repair, but it takes forever to get a part right now. So I finished working out. It was my 1-year anniversary at Orange Theory. And then I went and picked up my truck, and then I went and grabbed some snacks at Target for the plane. And then I came home, and my mom is working on Christmas presents too, and we're trying to be more crafty this year. And she was like, hey, do you want to go to Home Depot with me? And then I was like, it's dark now, and I don't like leaving the house when it's dark because I'm 90. And she was like, we can just go tomorrow. But I knew, that today is her birthday, and I was like, no, let's just go now. And so we got in the car to go to Home Depot, and as soon as we got in the car, I went, I left my phone inside somewhere. And I go, Mom, do you have your phone? And she goes, yeah. I go, if there's an emergency, we'll just use your phone. And then drove to Home Depot and looked for all the things she needed, and then drove to Walmart, looked for all the things she needed. Well, went to Taco Cabana to get some dinner, and then came home.
Meanwhile, it is 6 o'clock, and I'm sitting here on our Zoom call waiting for Bridget. And I gave you probably a good 10 minutes before I sent you my first text, and it was like a funny text, like, hey, you
forgot about me, yeah, yeah.
And then a couple minutes later, it's like 6:15, and I was like, all right, she's actually a little late now. So I gave her a call, no answer. Then I wait till like 6:30 to call her again. So I'm like, all right, I'm being paranoid. Maybe her stomach hurts. Maybe she got a little sick and she needed a minute and she couldn't get to her phone. That's fine. So I call her again, and then I call her 2 more times. And then I'm like, all right, I'm nervous. So it's 6:45. I'm like hanging out here on the Zoom call with no one here but me. And I'm like, all right, she never forgets this stuff. She's never late. She would have called me if anything happened. Something must have happened to her. So I send out an alert to all of our friends. I had started a group text, and then I texted Ryan separately because I didn't know if he wanted to be a part of that group text. But I was like, hey, has anyone heard from Bridget? She was supposed to meet me at 6 on a Zoom meeting, and I have not heard from her, and she will not call me back. So everyone starts losing their mind. And also, hilariously, if you tell someone, hey, someone's not answering my calls or texts, they immediately call and text you.
I know. I was like, I'm not ignoring you. Why would I answer those?
it felt nice that they were doing it anyway.
It was good.
And then
it was good.
after a few hours of me trying to Will just got home. After a few hours of me trying to figure out where you were, I was like, all right, maybe she fell asleep. This is weird. And then Ryan's like, I can call her mom. And I was like, no, that's too much.
Yeah, Ryan has my mom's number from when we went on vacation. Hi, Will. Will's belly.
Are you recording?
Yes. I'll make it fast. Sorry I just whacked your butt on live Facebook. That
Only Michelle can see it.
He said, really? So you don't care. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm talking to Ryan. I'm like, did she tell you where she was going? Like, is there like a trail? Can we follow it? Because I watch Dateline, and also I listen to Only Murder podcasts. And I was like, all right, if we can catch these first 3 hours and track where she is,
it's the most important vital hours. Yeah,
that is a thing. And so I'm like freaking out trying to figure out what your last moves were. And I'm talking to Rachel and she's like, well, I know she went to Orange Theory today. It was her year anniversary. I'm like, all right, but that was hours ago. And we're like spiraling, like all of us just spiraling away. Like, where is this? And then Crystal's like looking up your Facebook information. Like, she was active 2 hours ago. And I was like, all right. And then I text Ryan. I'm like, when did you last hear from Bridget? He goes, 2 hours ago. And I was like, no, that's not good enough. And so we're just like freaking out. And then finally Bridget calls me.
I texted Ryan on the way to Orange Theory. What up? I'm texting at Orange Theory because I always break the rules.
Finally, Bridget calls me.
No, okay, no, wait, pause yours. Pause your end. This is like the TikTok where it's like, and then I'm over here, I'm spinning like a ballerina. I'm wandering around Home Depot trying to find this certain size little nail for my mom's art. trying to at Walmart trying to compare which plank of wood was better for what we needed, and then we waited in line for Taco Bell and the line was too long, so we went to Taco Cabana because quesadillas sounded good, and we came up, and then normally I don't miss too much. It's normally like some work stuff or something on my phone, and I'm like, there's like 15 missed calls, and it's from all of our friends. Not Ryan, by the way. Not Ryan.
I told him not to call you because I'd already called. Ryan was using his brain. He was like, no, I can Facebook her mom and brother. And
Ryan knows I would not ignore you or Ryan or anybody else.
Yeah.
But... So
yeah, Ryan knows that if I call, if he calls, he's gonna get the same response.
I love that Ryan was like, I can call, because I gave him, when we went to Disney, I was like, here's my mom and dad's number for when we go on vacation for emergency purposes. So I'm like, so this is my thought process. It's like 15 missed calls and texts, and it's from you, Crystal, and Rachel, and I'm like, someone in our friend group died. Someone in our friend group, something's wrong. So I had the opposite thought, because it still had not clicked to me that it was Wednesday and it's 6 on Wednesday. It was still Tuesday in my mind. And so I was like, our friends, someone's hurt. Oh no, I left my phone and someone got hurt. And so I just immediately call you back and I'm like, hey. And you were like, hey. And I was like, oh, because I was looking at your text while calling you back, because I didn't even look at my text, because I was just like, someone died and I need to call. And so then I texted, while I was on the phone with you, I texted Rachel and I texted Crystal, and Crystal FaceTimed me. They were getting their booster, Anthony was getting his booster shot at CVS. So I FaceTimed with them, I was like, I'm alive. I told everyone I was alive, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And then we started a group text where I just sent everybody my mom, dad, and brother's phone number, and was like, in case I disappear and don't reappear in the critical 3 hours, here are my parents' and brother's phone number.
You did make it before the 3 hours was up.
I did. So it was 2 hours.
I was about to escalate I was about to escalate the situation, but also I had to work at 4 a.m. this morning. So I was like, I need to sleep, but I can't sleep until Bridget is found.
I felt so bad, and if Ryan would have called, like, I made sure Ryan and Michael's number is in my mom's phone. She has almost all of my friends' contacts, and she doesn't do anything weird with them. It's just for emergency purposes, because I travel around so much, because most of y'all live in San Antonio, some in Austin, and, I used to travel for work all the time, and so she would call if something happened. And so she has almost everybody's phone number in her phone, so she would have been like, why is Ryan calling me?
Well, now I got her too.
Yeah, you got mom, dad, and brother.
Next time you don't show up for a Zoom meeting, I'm calling your whole freaking family.
They'd probably talk your ear off,
Louise.
too. They'd probably talk your ear off and really enjoy it.
The most stressful 2 hours of my whole life. I was just like, Bridget died. She never doesn't show up.
I felt so bad. Well, then I got home and I was like, somebody died.
Well, I'm glad we
both think people die.
Anyway, guys, that's why we're doing this live right now.
Hey!
Because we were supposed to do it yesterday.
Yeah.
Bridget died for 2 hours.
I did. I'm back.
But she's alive now.
I'm in a metal suit. Lauren cut off her arm and leg and put a blood seal on it. And here I am.
But I got you back. Oh gosh, I am Ed, aren't I? In our relationship, I'm Ed and you're Alphonse, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah. That's pretty much. I like to think that I'm Ed, but I'm definitely more Alphonse for sure.
And I want to be Alphonse, but I'm Ed. I'm the most Ed mofo.
And I'm like, no, let's think about this. I'm gonna think about this, and let's.
And I'm just like no, let's go. It looks cool. Let's do it.
And I'm like, wait, the color scheme is wrong. Let's look at the pricing on this. Hold on. I'm going to make our Facebook
and I just
page.
I'm revving it full throttle. Let's go. You're welcome. I slipped that in there for you because
anyway, I'm so sorry. I do. Okay, so we watched episodes 45 through 48. Woo-woo. We're almost done.
And they were crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
They were so crazy.
With a gross cliffhanger,
so
too.
So upsetting.
So
I almost 45. Just kept watching, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't.
I really thought about it, but I was already at the doghouse, so I did not.
Good.
You're
Good
welcome.
For you.
I did not want to upset you anymore. The next time I make you cry, it'll be tears of happiness. Anyway.
That's all I ask. Oh no.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so episode 45. It's called The Promise Day. Dun, dun, dun. Lauren, you got a summary?
Here is your Netflix summary. Quiet warnings spread near and far. The promised day is at hand. While most will face the coming chaos with their own kind, Edward forms a new cabal. That freaking word again. A new cabal composed of human, chimera, and homunculus?
That's kind of spoilery, but alright.
Oh yeah, it's all spoilery. And I only have one voice actor for this entire episode that we are doing. This is the only voice actor that I have.
Wow. I guess it does take place with a lot of people we already know. It
does. This voice actor is Rebecca. She is Hawkeye's friend.
Oh!
Her English voice actor is Jamie Marchi, and she plays Takeyama, or Mount Lady, in My Hero Academia.
Oh!
She also plays...
Yep. I can hear it now.
She also plays Makoto Minagawa in Fruits Basket, and Yu Matsuoka in Free. I don't know. I think Matsuoka is like the name of the main character, but she plays like his sister or something.
She's Mountain Lady. I love Mountain Lady. I love Mountain Lady. One Lane Road, my only weakness.
So stupid. And then her Japanese voice actor is Naomi Shindo, and she plays young Hanji in Blood Plus, Havoc in Darker Than Black, and Ryoko Miyazona in Your Lie in April. So that's my only voice actor for this entire episode.
Every time I
which
hear
is
your
so
line,
nice
April,
for me.
I get scared because I'm like, ugh, we're gonna have to
Prepare
go through that
yourself.
heartbreak
It's
soon.
very, very sad. Well, maybe not soon. We could have.
That is true.
We could not roll it for a very long time. As soon as we roll one, you get to replace it if it doesn't have, a season.
I feel
2.
like it's gonna be soon.
So,
like I feel in my heart it's gonna be a soon. It's gonna be a soon.
That
All
would
right.
be soul crushing. Anyway.
Hey, look at our really cool adventure anime. Now let's watch this soul crushing depression era. At least it's just like one season. We'd finish it really fast. But ugh.
That's true. That's true. Anyway,
okay, so here we go. Here we go. Greed is angry with Bradley, because remember we left off with Greed busting into Bradley's house and was like, what is happening? Because Ling is now getting control of Greed and making him see things. Greed is angry with Bradley and trying to figure out why he remembers old memories and is using that shield skin thing, which I love, and little Pride is looking angry. I hate that kid.
Dude, his little evil face was so funny. It was
in the corner,
like
his mom's like holding him. And he's like,
it was the least evil face. He's just like, it's not going my way.
I'm angry.
It's so cute.
And then we pan over to the Armstrong family. They're also sparkly and lovely. And I love this scene so much. Lady Olivier wants her dad to retire, and she wants to take over, but the dad says he was going to leave it to Alex, because Alex is older, and now they have to engage in a combat to see who is going to be the head of the family.
She was older than he was. She calls him little brother. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
Don't know. Who is older? Olivier Armstrong or Alex Armstrong? Olivia is older. Okay. Older sister of Alex.
I think he was just gonna leave it
because he's a dude.
Alex, because he has got a penis. Yeah.
Sexism.
That's his only qualification.
Classic.
His penis and his baldness.
Oh no, we're not live on Facebook anymore. It lost signal. Whatever.
That's okay.
Sorry, Michelle. I hope it comes back.
Me too.
She did find it. I saw that she liked it, so. All right. And so they're battling to see who's going to be the head of the family, and I said, oh my gosh, the shirt rip off. I love this. He's like, fine, and just rips it. I love it. I love it every time. It never gets old.
And then immediately just starts dying.
Yeah, just gets pummeled.
Whenever she knocked him into the hallway and just starts dragging him back into the room, and he's literally
every
shouting,
time,
no!
every time, like he falls, he's trying to scatter away, and she's like, "Not today," and pulls him back in. So I love that the family's unfazed by everything happening, and there's like furniture flying in the background and like shattering against the wall, and they're like, "Yes, dear, should we go on our Jamaican cruise?" And with like the littlest sister, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I guess they've just always fought this.
Yeah,
hard,
I
right?
bet they're close in age.
It has to be normal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They must be like maybe 2 years apart. The sibling rivalry. I go, Olivier is absolutely beating Alex's butt, and he tried to tap out, and the sister just walked by and said, "Try to hang in there, Alex," while she was like getting her bag out of the room. And I was like, what is happening? And then I wrote, Olivier is just dragging him around and beating him up. Of course, Lady Olivier Armstrong won. It tells him to get out because he'll stink up the mansion with his cowardice. Okay, I hate when it gets to that point because that's not fair. He did the right thing in the war. It was a bad war, but I get it. Okay, but don't you come at him like that. Don't you come at my man like that. Anyway, I
don't know if I like Lady Armstrong sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like,
because of her hatefulness.
Yeah.
Like, she's a great character, and I love representation of strong females in anything.
Like, sure, everything about her in Briggs, I loved, but
everything about her in Central, I'm not so fond of.
Like, her with Mustang, her with Alex, it's like, okay, we get it.
I need a softness from her that I'm not getting. Just a little bit. I just need, like, a smidgen. A smidge.
A smidge.
That's all I need.
I'm sure we'll get it soon. I feel like we're gonna get it soon.
We have to, right? There's only like how many episodes?
I mean,
left?
like the
come
world's
on.
about to end. She's gonna look over some hatred. The world's about to end.
We'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling that this last fight that we're getting on to the last episode is gonna last like 4 episodes. So.
I'm not ready for it. So Mei Chang is traveling back to Xing with little Envy in a jar, which I told you I did not feel comfortable with them giving.
I don't feel comfortable with it either.
And I said, "Oh, this is the mining town from that chapter I was reading."
It is.
I was like, "Who knew that one chapter? The only chapter I'm like halfway through, like I don't know. I'm in the first like collection, and that one chapter keeps popping up." But that's the lovely little mining town. That little kid's the one whose dad now owns the mine that they got from, what's his name? Yoki! And so they're so kind to her, giving her all this food and housing for free because they're just good people. May is crying because she's so, like, thankful, and she realizes, you know, like, all these people are so kind, but they might die soon if they don't, you know, fix this issue. But Envy is straight up just tricking her and is like telling her she's not helping these kind people. They're not going to save their life. They're all going to die. And so Envy convinces sweet little Mei Chang to go back to Central to learn the true meaning of immortality. And she listens and she turns around to go back to Central. And I was like, no.
I'm so upset that she listened. I'm so upset. I'm like, you know this dude is evil.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, bro?
Don't listen to the little chameleon slug in a jar.
He's literally a worm. Do not listen to him.
Like,
also, there's one tiny moment. I don't know if they did it this weird sound in the dub, but in the sub, like one of the villagers holds Xiaomei, and she lets out the most horrible little scream in the entire world. Like it's like a bloody murder.
That
Xiaomei
did not happen.
Scream.
That did not
and
happen.
I'm just like, what? I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna play it for you because it's very upsetting.
Yeah, she was just like, I love your cat, and then the guy was like, the cat's trying to eat you.
Yeah, she was like, I love your cat, and Xiaomei went, like it was crazy.
I don't think it was that dramatic. It was just like, I'm sorry, I have to leave now, bye. But it was not like nothing startled me.
Awful. It was awful, and no one noticed it. Everyone was just like, "Oh, cat." And I was like, no, screaming bear.
Screaming bear. Okay, so then we pan...
Screaming bears, little Xiaomei.
Stop it. Do not sing Anastasia right now.
Almost remember.
And anyway... Ed is still traveling with the chimeras. Ed is at the old hideout. It looks like the place where Gluttony busted out and, you know, like ate half the building. But no one's there. But then all of a sudden, Ling Greed shows up. But it's Ling's. Greedling. Ling Greed? Ling Greed sounds like Linguini, though. Anyway, but it's Ling's actual voice, and he's hungry for linguini. But Greed's trying to fight back and get control of Ling's body. I just laughed at Ed. He's like, he's trying to get control. And Ed just goes like bonks his head. Is like, no. And I was like, that's not helpful. That's not how that works.
It is.
That's not how
it
that works.
It is when you're a boy. That's how that works. Also, can I just say that Ed and Ling are like my favorite friends in this show. I just think their friendship is so
great.
Cute and sweet.
I love that. They're great.
The angry shouty boy and his hungry wise friend.
Hungry wise friend that makes Ed pay for the bills. Love it.
And then angry shouty gremlin science boy.
Love it. Ling lets Ed know that Father's gonna try and open the portal on the Day of Reckoning, and they should jump in when it's open to get their bodies. But Ed doesn't feel great about that, because that means people are gonna die in order to get that portal open, because they have to have a sacrifice. But then Ling loses control of the body again, and now Greed's back in control. It's very, like, as Lauren said, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde going here.
Did I say that?
You said that while we were on the phone.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's my favorite thing. I'm now all in on Team Greed. I love Greedling as a duo.
And we get a lot more of it in these 4. Yeah. And
It's very Sukuna Yuji vibes from JJK, and I'm about it.
I have no idea what that means.
You'll know that eventually. It's okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I
We're gonna
only
get to it. It's
knew
on the list.
Jujutsu Kaisen. That's all I knew. JJK.
There you go.
I got
That's
that.
half the battle. Half the battle.
Half the battle's understanding abbreviations. All right.
Exactly.
So Greed doesn't want to do anything with the homunculi anymore because he's kind of out on his own. And Ed invites him to team up with them. Greed says no, but kind of thinks about it. But then Greed / Ling, I wrote Ling, but it's Greed, invites them to join him, and Ed says, yeah, sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
You're
In
good.
the Japanese, they don't call it team up. They say pal up. Did they say team up or did they say pal up?
Team up.
Because it drove me absolutely insane. Ed was like, yeah, you should pal up with me. And I was like, what?
It was team up. Partner up, team up. It was
I'm
not
so upset.
pal up.
Pal up. They said pal up every single time they said it. And in that span of 3 minutes, they said pal up probably 10 times. And I'm upset.
I have not heard
I'm sorry,
that phrase.
that's all I had to add to that. Please continue.
All right. So they have to work in the shadows now because Greed kind of works in the shadows, especially since the homunculi run everything, and Greed's not teaming up with them anymore. And then my cats are about to start fighting with each other.
Good.
Ed looks at Winry's earrings in his pocket and says he has a feeling that he won't see Al or Winry anymore anytime
Stupid
soon.
earrings.
And I was like, it's so sad.
It's sad, but I'm still annoyed that she just gave him a fistful of earrings.
It's a weird
remember
spin-off.
me.
It's a weird spin-off of A Fistful of Dollars, A Fistful of Earrings.
A fistful of dollars? What the heck?
It's a Clint Eastwood movie,
That
but
song?
alright. It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Sorry.
It's an old
I'm
Western.
not that smart.
It's a Western.
Oh, that's why. Oh.
So Izumi is gone. We pan over to Izumi's, butcher shop house place. Izumi is gone, and I wrote, Izumi is gone, but they say she's gone. Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
how that
Good
works.
job.
That's how that works. The military's looking for her, but Izumi and Sig are up north, but Al lets them know through a message about the Day of Reckoning. They're basically, they have somebody at the butcher shop that they trust who's, letting him know, hey, military are here looking for you.
His name is Daniel. I forgot to get his name.
Daniel?
His name is Daniel.
That's my brother's name.
Your brother is
my brother
helping
at the butcher
chosen
shop. Great. So
that's the name of the episode. My brother at the butcher shop.
Let me write that down. My brother at the butcher shop.
An old timey voice.
At
My
the butcher
brother.
shop. Ooh, that's not
At
how you
the
spell
butcher
butcher.
shop.
I can't read my own handwriting. Anyway, so then we pan up north, and Mountain Patrol gets attacked, and they're like, who's attacking? And then Azumi just pops into the shop and was like, a housewife! And I love when she does that so much. She's like, she's got the chancla and she's hitting them. And I love it. So they say, Major Miles goes, it's the same attack from 20 years ago. You know, they talk about, she fought this bear, and it's just Buccaneer. And it's great. Okay. So Izumi gets purposefully caught so she can send a message to Buccaneer and Miles. And the Briggs soldiers pass that message to Grumman about the Promise Day and the Day of Reckoning. Grumman touches Rebecca's butt, and I was like, why?
Yeah, it really was just so
We get
stupid
he's
and
creepy. We
awful.
don't need that to understand that he's creepy. Thank you.
It's so aggravating.
Yeah, I know. That really ticked me off when I saw that, because I was like, why?
It just
Why?
stupid stuff like that. The fan service is just so.
It pulled me out of the plot.
I talk more about this in the next episode, so I'm gonna leave it be.
Okay.
But fan service is trash, and that's all I'm gonna say.
It pulled me out of the plot of this story because I saw it and I got really mad about it. And I was like, what purpose did this serve? But Grumman tells her to pass the message to Hawkeye. And then so Rebecca meets with Hawkeye, and Rebecca's like, you should introduce me to more guys in Central. And wants to be hooked up with a nice guy from Central. And Hawkeye goes, here, this is the nicest guy I know, and holds up little black Hayate. And I was like, yes, he is. He's the best boy. He's the best boy. I love that little puppy dog.
Great dog.
And so her friend hugs Hayate and then gives her back. But Hawkeye realizes there's a message in Hayate's collar. She passes the message, and now Hawkeye passes the message from her to Havoc, hides the note in the cigarettes. And then I love that she goes, tell the Colonel I said hi. And then the curtain by Havoc rips open, and it's just Roy sitting there in the chair looking real grumpy.
He is so put out that he can't just say hi to Hawkeye.
It was so funny. He's just like,
he's just so mad. He's
behind
so
this
mad.
curtain. It's so funny. And then, so Roy gets the message because Havoc's like, hey, read this note. And then I got really thrown off by this. Like, Roy starts reading the message, and that music just starts playing out of nowhere while he's mid-reading the message, like the closing day music. And I was like, whoa, the closing episode music. And I was like, whoa.
They were just wrapping up.
Yeah. It just, like, kind of startled me, because it didn't, like, fade in. It was just, like, and I was like, whoa.
It's an intense moment, Bridget. It needs to really just knock your pants off.
It was really kind of terrifying. But the note said, be prepared for when the promised day arrives, the North and East will make their move. But we get, this episode, out of all 4 that we watched, has its own ending credits scene. And it's like a preview of the upcoming season. And so we see...
I didn't see that. It's not on the Netflix thing.
Well, so I watch on Funimation, and this is not the usual end credit images. It's just this episode, and it's like images previewing, I guess, what's going to happen in future episodes. Because it's got Scar in the desert, May traveling, Ed with Ling, Winry helping feed that one city where the sun god was. Oh, what's that city's name? Lior. Father with the homunculi in a meeting. Ed and Ho looking at a map of the city, and the Chimera rebuilding the city, and then Zumi and Sig in the north, and the north preparing a war plan. And I was like, whoa. I'd like pause every 2 seconds to like write down what image I was seeing. And then the after credit scene, Roy burns the note, keeps walking, and the promised day appears on screen. Olivier and Roy are together, and then Ed and Winry are maybe reunited. It's a little preview. And then the fun, ominous little quote that they do at the every after credit scene is, the heart is capable of pain and separation as long as one keeps moving forward as well.
Ooh.
Beep, beep, beep.
Bum, bum, bum.
Leading us to episode 46.
Wait, I have fun
Shadows. Yes, Lauren, tell us fun facts. Fun facts.
Embrace my fun facts.
Embrace.
I don't have a whole lot of fun facts for the whole episode, but I do have a lot of fun facts for this particular episode. The content from this is from chapter 80, The Prodigal Father Returns, chapter 82, Family by Spirit, and chapter 83, The Promised Day. This episode is the first and only episode to announce the title at the very end of the episode. However, when it aired in America, Adult Swim didn't like that, so they just switched it around so it aired with the title card first. Because apparently, they just don't like the being cool. Adult Swim, get it together.
That's weird. Yeah, because I love that the title card hit at the end, because I was like, oof.
Yeah, it was effective.
I was like, that's a big deal. And then, especially with, like, the new exit credit.
Yes, it's effective. It's good. They messed up. They also cut the post-credit scene for the podcast, though. So, like, no one saw it. For no reason. There wasn't any time constraints or anything. They just cut it.
Interesting.
So May ends up in Usewell, which is the mining town. In the manga, she was in Usewell before she met up with Yoki and Scar. It's just like a small little snippet that she had, and she had helped them with something. So in the original series, they are helping her out of gratitude for what she's done, and they actually struggled to figure out how to make that still fit and have her turn back around in Brotherhood, because they had to just make it seem
Random.
like
Yeah.
they're being nice random strangers.
I thought it was they did a good job at that, because that's kind of what Ed was to them. He was a random stranger who was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think they successfully found a way.
Yeah, it didn't feel super awkward. I recognized the blonde guy, and I was like, oh, this is the mining town. Like,
Yeah.
I knew it immediately. This is the only time that Greedling, the name, is used in this series, which is a huge disappointment because I loved it. I thought it was so funny.
It was great. It was funny,
Yeah.
like, delivery, too.
Yeah, it was perfect. I loved it. So good. I'm so sad it's gone now.
Nevermore.
And my favorite fun fact is Grumman's mustache is visibly less bushy in this episode because he had to grow it back from when he shaved it off.
Oh, that's right, because he was a girl.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So they
continuity.
purposefully made sure that it wasn't fully grown in yet.
That's funny.
Like, positive.
Love it.
Here's your Netflix summary for episode 46, Looming Shadows. I want to try to read it like the Full Metal Alchemist voice guy, but I know it's going to be bad.
Oh,
and I'm going to sound like
nope,
Zach Bagans. That was so bad. Ready? Those who have prepared to reclaim a nation find their plans exposed. The chaos multiplies after an assassin strikes down the mighty leader in broad daylight, and Alphonse falls prey to the monsters in the dark. I was doing so well.
It would have been fine if you wouldn't have told me to compare it to Zach Baggins.
It didn't sound like him.
That's all I could hear was, we're here in this haunted house, and I'm going to send Aaron down into the basement alone.
Poor Aaron. Aaron should sue Zach Bagans.
Bagel Bites treats him so horribly. He's like,
so horrible.
Aaron, I've got this urge to stab you in the throat. And Aaron's like, what the heck, man? Every time.
So incredibly violent.
Bagel Bites, how many times can you get possessed to kill Aaron?
Apparently, a lot.
The limit does not exist.
Shut up. I hate you.
It's so bad. Okay, so Looming Shadows. Ready or not, who am I writing to? Ready or not, the promised day will soon arrive.
You're writing to me. Oh no!
That was my first bullet point. I'm like, what? Because I watched this like a week ago. I'm like, what am I writing? Ready or not?
I was just apparently losing my mind because I was like, months? Months have gone by? Months? They haven't seen each other once? What? I was
it's
like,
so sad. Oh no, I yawned. Okay, so.
Oh no, it's okay. We got this.
We got this. We're almost. We're halfway.
We're not halfway there yet.
Brick soldiers are in Risenpool. They have their tanks to fill water supply, and Winry was hidden in one of the tanks so she could get back home. Winry's back home, but Granny's not there. Okay, this is where I start to have some beef. Winry is getting dressed, and halfway undressed, and Ed's sitting there eating a sandwich. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. But, let me tell you, was the boob curve necessary? Because it was not like that in the manga. The manga stops, like, right here, but that was, like, right here. Like, you saw these curves. Boobs don't stay up like that without a bra.
Fan service is the worst thing about anime culture, besides the machismo, no girls allowed BS.
Yeah.
But, that's just kind of whatever, and that's just life because women are second-class citizens and everyone can suck it. But fan service is ridiculous. Like I said before, it just takes a perfectly great story, takes you out of it, to give you, a snippet of something you're not even going to see. If you really want to watch it, go watch a freaking hentai, calm down.
Yeah. Like,
I don't need her to my show.
I was so upset about that because it's a sweet moment in the manga of like Ed's just trying to get quiet, peace alone, to eat a sandwich because he's stressed. He's feeling the weight of the world. Winry's upset and alone and just had to get like smuggled back home, and she just wants to change into some clean clothes, which are Ed's, by the way. And
she's
then
wearing Ed's shirt whenever that's the shirt she's taking off, and she's wearing his shirt. And I was like,
I know. I love it. But yeah, so it's like just two people who have like slowly started falling in love, haven't confessed it to each other yet, but like they're just exhausted. Like you see that they're too young to have this weight on them, but this burden's been given to them. And then they threw in this, like, sexuality thing, and I was like, no, this was supposed to be just, like, a sweet moment of, like, Ed's bashful because he does like Winry, Winry's bashful because she does like Ed. Also, she thought the home was empty, he thought the home was empty, and he's eating a sandwich in Winry's room, and he said because he just wants some alone time, but because he misses Winry, just like Winry's wearing Ed's shirt because she misses Ed. And then they had to throw in the boob thing, and it ruined a perfectly sweet and wonderful moment. It made me really upset.
It just really bothers me that it's not in the manga. They just wanted to have some boobs.
The manga, the shirt is so much lower. Like, this is such a beautiful little scene, and the shirt is so much lower. Because this is the episode where you realize Ed's grown. He's taller than Winry. And
I lost my mind. I sent Bridget a picture. I was like, what?
I have like
right after I watched this episode, I had to go to work, and I was like, "No, he's taller than her, though." I swear. And in the episode before, I literally wrote down, "I think Ed got taller," and I didn't believe it. And then they showed that.
I literally have like 20 of the photos of that scene and drawings saved on my phone. Because I'm obsessed with that moment, and I was like, he's taller. Okay. So past the sexism, pure chaos breaks out with the chimeras and Greed and Briggs all pointing guns, and the dog is barking, and Ed yells, "I just wanted somewhere private to eat my sandwich." And Winry kicks out everyone but Ed.
I loved that.
I know. So Winry talks about how Al was at the train station and Ed could run over there and go see him, but Ed like takes one step and then stops because he's a fugitive now and he can't risk anyone seeing him, but he misses Al so much. And it was so heartbreaking, and Winry can just see that pain in him. And it made me so sad because they've been separated for so long.
It destroyed me. And Alan's in so much trouble. He's losing time.
Poor sweet baby is. Oh, I know. I said Ed looks so much older in this scene, and then Granny's here, and then she goes, "Winry, welcome home." I don't know why I wrote that, but apparently I just love Granny.
I get it.
Yeah, I just really love Granny. So Winry's so confused by Greedling, and they explain everything. And then Ed is laying on Winry's bed, she's working on his automail, and he learns about Leor and Al and Major Miles. Al is with Major Miles. Ed's sad, depressed, and scared. Ed wants Winry to leave the country to be safe, but Winry's mad and says he does not need to doubt himself, and he has to stop them and save everyone, or else they all die. She's like, there's no room for doubt, you have to fix this. And Winry knows that's like an unfair request, but she also knows how powerful Ed is, but like, he's their only hope. And then
I still don't know how powerful Ed is. I'm very frustrated by that. I've seen him do is make spears and make a car look ugly. That's all I want to say. The end.
Well, so
I don't know if I trust Ed at this point.
To ruin that really great moment of like deep thinking, my next bullet point was, "Hey, yo, Ed is taller than Winry and buff."
And buff. He looks so much like Hohenheim, though. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Especially when we saw that image of young Hohenheim. Oh, man. They're like twins.
They're like clones.
Yeah. And then Ed ruined this moment by saying, "You just don't know when to shut up, do ya?" to Winry. Because he's so stressed. And I'm like, classic male exploding and taking your rage out on someone else that's not the situation.
So Greed's telling him that things that you want aren't always bad, but everyone wants something they don't have, and it's making Ed think. And so they're gonna leave in the middle of the night. Winry catches them, and this line made me cry. Have an apple pie waiting for us, okay? And I was like, because that's all Alphonse wants to eat first when he comes his body back.
But coming out of the sad, I really love the fact that greed as a feeling is neither bad nor good. It's just something that everyone has.
Everyone has, and it depends on how you act on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really liked that because, again, I'm a big fan of Greed. But I liked the original Greed, too.
Yeah.
And then he became my favorite character, and I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll just keep you. That's fine.
I thought it was a deep moment for Greed, for them to show that, like, hey, these emotions are normal things that everyone has. It all just depends on how you wrestle with those emotions. And I thought that was, like, really perfect. Deep. And, like, he's got Ling in there, and Ling's making him aware of the other souls in there, and so he's like, you don't just have greed. That might be your overwhelming thing, but, like, you are a body of a person. And so I thought it was a cool, deep moment. It gives me hope that maybe some some homunculi can be restored.
I feel like literally only Greed is good.
Yeah.
Maybe Bradley. I have a weird hunch about Bradley.
You know, I said that. If we go back to, like, episode 2 or 3 or whatever, I say that about Bradley. I'm like, there's got to be a redemption arc somewhere, because when he talks about his wife, that he may be the, like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel.
I feel like there's humanity somewhere deep in there.
There's something. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see. So I wrote, what did I write? Oh, I said, Ed says he's going to stop it, and then Winry wanted to say something to Ed and then doesn't say it, and I was like, ah! And then I laughed at, where's the like, Chimera saying, where's Marco and Scar? And I wrote, here they are, because they're just, like, right in front of them, eating.
Ta-da!
They're in Lior, and now them and Chimeras are having to travel to Central, and Yoki. Poor Yoki. Not really poor Yoki, but poor Yoki. Scar doesn't want to save the country. I wrote, Scar doesn't want to save the country. He wants to save it. He wants to change it. He wants to change it. He wants the country to acknowledge what they did and make sure it never happens again. You know, never forget. Fellow Ishvalans now have chosen to join them as allies. They all meet up in the forest. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
Army time.
I'm ready for this. Then we pan over to Grumman and Miles. They're running drills that normally they run in the north, but they are doing them in the east, and they have a plan in place. But their plan is kind of mixed up because Bradley's there in person to oversee the drills. Since the promised day is so close, he doesn't want anything to get messed up. Poor sweet BB Owl. Oh, we pan over to Owl. He's in the train, and he keeps going in and out of consciousness more frequently, and they're lasting longer each time, and he's going back to his body in the portal. So, like, if he, like, goes there permanently, he's dead. He's crossed over to the other side.
I cannot.
I don't want to do that. And I wrote,
I cannot.
Uh-oh, Gluttony has found Owl and is chasing him. And I wrote, poop. Pride is here too, and Owl is struggling. No. It was in all caps. Owl loses consciousness again in the middle of running away from Pride and Gluttony. And I wrote in all cap, no, stop, my baby boy.
I said, don't touch his seal. I will personally destroy you.
It was so sad. And then you just hear Pride say, we'll wake you up on the promised day. And thus, Owl is captured, and we don't see him for a little bit. So we pan over. Roy is with Olivier, and he says, I'm going to have to take you out to dinner soon. And her amazing like, threat back to him is, gonna follow up on your threat after all. Because every time he tries to take her out, like there was one time I think he said, I'm gonna have to take you out to dinner, and she was like, I could eat you eat your money alive or whatever, like eat more than you could afford.
Yeah.
It was great.
Something like that.
Yeah, it
folks.
was
It's
something. It
written
was
down somewhere.
way smoother, but she said that and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Roy says the mansion is huge enough to hide a battalion. I think that was foreshadowing.
Yeah, definitely.
Olivia says she'd rather leave the entire mansion to Roy rather than Alex, and she hates Roy. Roy gives her how did I write this? Hyacinth flowers. And they have a message in there telling her that Salim, jeez, Salim is a homunculus, and the flowers represent ladylike charm, and it made her throw the flowers. He said that, I think, on purpose, because he knew she would throw the flowers away, thus also burning the message for safety. So, the promised day is tomorrow, we find out. And I was like, what?
That happened quickly.
What do you mean? I felt like we had 2 months or something to prepare, but
we
it's
did. We had like 4
tomorrow.
months.
I was like, what is happening? How do we still have like 15 episodes and it's tomorrow? Anyway, they said they can't find Al. They know that they're playing. What? Oh, they know that they're planning on creating or making a coup. And actually, they know the whole. So it's up when Bradley's up in the tower. The soldier's like, "Hey, I just found out the secret plan." They know they're gonna. It's not creating a coup. Cause a coup. Perform a coup. Anyway, a coup. A coup. A coup.
Pulling a coup?
I don't know. I wrote drawing a coup, but I don't think
They're
that's it.
cooing.
Anyway, they're cooing. They're cooing. Write that down. There.
Oh no,
cooing.
your brother's in the butcher shop cooing.
My brother at the butcher shop. They're cooing.
Doing a coup.
Dude, actually, that one actually might be correct because that sounds better. Anyway, so Bradley's like, and then they're like realizing all this plan of the Shvalins invading and moving the military to Central to stop them. Roy taking control, so they have this whole plan they've learned about. And I'm like, who ratted them out? Because of the info, they have to go back to Central. Bradley has to go back to Central. But the train stops over the bridge on the river, and I go, oh, maybe this was on purpose. Maybe they leaked this info on purpose to get him in this vulnerable spot. There's a herd of sheep blocking them, and then the engine lets go of their cart and leaves them, and that guy, I love the guy in the, like, caboose, not the caboose, the engine, and was like, bye! Just leaves them, and then the train blows up the bridge, and the train car is destroyed, but we all know Bradley ain't dead.
Nah, he can't be.
No, but it was the miners! It was the miners from that lovely town that destroyed it, and I love the miners. Grumman laughs that they tricked them, but, yeah, right, Bradley ain't dead. Bradley ain't dead, we know, because he's a homunculi, and they didn't find a body, so. So Hawkeye has been now reunited with some of the Mustang troop, and that warms my stinking heart, because I love that gang of friends.
Fury's alive!
Fury's alive! That's right, because the last time we saw him was in that really compromised position on, like, a skirmish. Ugh.
He did not die!
I
was
know.
so happy.
I
was so worried about him.
And who else is with her? That other guy. I don't remember his name. Bretta. And I said the music was really epic for this ending with Hawkeye cocking her gun. And I said, is this the music ending because we're almost done with the show? Like, now we get, like, these epic endings, not just, like, we cut to credits. Now we get, like, music in the actual episode. And I say, okay, we're now back to the old ending photos for the credits. So after credits, everyone thinks the Fuhrer's dead, but they're waiting on confirmation that he's dead. And Olivier thinks about taking the lead, but because, like, it's all the leaders in general saying, like, what do we do? Someone needs to lead. And she's like, should I be leading? Because I'm kind of a double agent. But then Father shows up in the room with Sloth, who is giant, and I always forget that, and puts his hand on her shoulder saying, don't worry, I'm watching over Central. I'm here. So Father's, like, straight up out of the caves below the ground and is gonna lead Central. And I'm like,
and he had to touch the only girl in the room.
Right? All right. Yeah, classic man
Also,
power.
only one woman in the room.
Yeah.
We can do better.
That's pretty accurate to work.
I know you're Nazis and you're horrible, but we can do better.
We could. And so in the little after credit scenes, it shows Ed and Al reunited, but they're now fighting gluttony and pride. And Al doesn't look okay from that little preview we see. And then, so...
Gee, I wonder why.
Gluttony's belly portal opening up again, and then the ominous quote at the end of every episode, strike a light deep within the heart of man in order to ward away the darkness. Lauren, do you have fun facts for us?
Only that the content from this came from Chapter 84, Shadow of the Pursuer, and Chapter 85, The Empty Box. That is it.
Alright. Fun fact.
Here's your Netflix summary for episode 47, Emissary of Darkness. Should I do this? Should I do this in the voice again,
Please,
or should
please. No more Zach Bagel Bites Baggins.
A sinister voice rings out from the shell of Al's armor, and Ed and Greed find themselves under attack. As the homunculi use the darkness to their advantage, a face from the past arrives to join the battle.
Alright, that's not a bad one.
Not that bad. That was an okay one. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So, the way the episode opens is kind of terrifying. It's just Al floating in this, like, purgatory kind of feel. And then you realize he's in the portal. And the portal voice / truth is talking to him. And says, it's too soon for you to die. We aren't done with you yet. But then I realize it's not the portal voice. It's stinking Pride / Salim Bradley.
Pride is my least favorite person in this entire show.
I know. This little brat.
I hate him.
I'd punt him. Anyway, Ed is at Konama, and Ho is there too. Now they're reunited. And I laugh that Ed, when he sees him, just immediately punches him in the face with the automail arm. And he's like, you could warn me. Anyway, their relationship's still strained. They're working on it.
Are they?
He goes, they go, who are your new friends? And the Chimeras go, we're not. We're all in the sinking ship. Same sinking ship. And it made me laugh because they refuse to acknowledge friendship with Ed. Ho agrees to tell them everything and everyone is stunned. Ho said he was worried that this was going to be more difficult for Ed to understand than Al. And I think that kind of shocks Ed that Al was so accepting of their father because Ed, I get it, Ed is the oldest and he holds more resentment towards Ho. I get it. When you're hurt like that,
well, he remembered more of it. I think that's...
And he saw the day his dad left.
The burden he carries. Yeah, like he remembers that. Al was just a little baby for...
I still want to know why he left. Yeah.
I bet he left to try to become human. I'm guessing that immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
He wanted to become human so they could all live and die together.
Yeah. That's so sad. Okay. Just take a moment there. It's sad. Alright. The solar eclipse is the promised day. So that's tomorrow. Solar eclipse. And this whole episode takes place overnight. Ho asks Ed to help him. And Ed says he's only teaming up because their odds are better together. And it's basically like, we're not friends. My odds are just better if I have more bodies.
I'm ready for this team up, though. I'm so ready.
I'm ready for them to do more effort for me. Ed tells Ho what Granny told him to tell him. His mom's dying words. And we only heard part of this. We didn't hear this last part. I'm sorry I couldn't keep my promise, but I'm dying first. And Ho is looking up at the stars and crying. And I'm crying. And everyone's crying. And I'm not okay. Because it's really sad. And I don't like that I care for him now. But I'm like...
And then something after that, they're like, Ed takes a step away. And he's with his guys. And they're like eating. They've like left Ho. And they're talking about him. And Ed says that Ho isn't what he expected. And for some reason that hit me like really deep in the feels. Because I'm just like, your parents are never what you expect. Because, they're people.
They're just people.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I have some pretty flawed parents who I love. And it's just... It was a weird thing that I wasn't expecting from this show to hurt me with, but here we are.
If you got
Here we are crying.
any sort of daddy issues or parent issues, man, this show really pokes and prods at that. Golly.
It got me real deep.
I feel you. I feel you, friend. I feel you. I know, this part of the episode, I'm pretty sure I paused and I was like, what?
I did too. I was like, I feel affronted.
I can cry again right now.
Time.
Today was already very emotional. This pen is not waving enough air in my face.
So good. Don't do it.
All right. Okay. Anyway, Ho's just so heartbroken over Trisha. And the Chimeras are telling Ed that maybe he should be reasonable with his dad, and there must be a reason he left their mom. There must be. So tell me, show. Tell me the reason. What was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason? Cardi B voice.
You.
What was the reason?
And you.
You're gonna love
become
me.
a man. There you go.
Okay. And so we just like went straight into normal talking after that.
I know. It's fine.
Ed transmutes him a red coat again. Dingus.
Hey,
and
whenever I have a job interview, like, if anything important's happening, I wear my favorite underwear. I call them my power panties. Because when I am in those panties, I feel confident. And these are his power panties. It's his red jacket. So you know what, Ed? You get it. I understand.
You wear your power panties. Power panties. I
vibed so hard with that. I was like, you know what? The first thing I would do if I had the power to make whatever I want, I would make my most comfortable thing for the battle that I'm about to do tomorrow.
Oh,
power
my
panties.
Gosh. That's so funny. And I love alliteration, too. I'm now going to call my favorite pair power panties. Oh, my gosh.
I can't believe you never have before. This is seriously like
I have a favorite pair. No, I totally understand that. I've just never had a name for it, and now I do. Thank you.
Power panties.
Power panties.
You're welcome.
Writing that down for the title. Ed and his power panties. His red power panties. Oi!
I'm sorry.
So, one of the Chimeras go, isn't that a little flashy? And Ed says, might be the last battle we fight. Gonna do it in style. And I was like, classic. There he is. There's our boy. That's our boy right there. The little
Ed
skulls.
Style, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are.
Ed asks everyone why they're sticking around and fighting, but none of them are gonna abandon the cause, and I really love that. And then all of a sudden, Al's walking out of the forest, but Al's eyes aren't lit up. And it sounds a bit like Al's voice, but something's wrong. Greed can sense it. The Chimeras can sense it. The only person who can't is sweet dumb Ed. Everybody else has got that tingle. Ling takes over the body and yells to get away because that's not Al. That's actually pride in him. Because remember, Ling can sense the homunculi. We'll get into that later. Oh my gosh, all the eyes, Al, poor baby Al. All of a sudden we realize that pride is in him, inside of Al, and controlling his body like a suit of armor, which just means Al is straight up still unconscious.
I hate it.
I'm so sad. Grumman, and then we pan over, in a very vulnerable moment, we pan over back to Grumman and all of them, Grumman and Major Miles. Grumman seems to be planning on double-crossing everyone, because he's watching the bridge explosion and trying to find, like, the body. He thinks they'll get captured, and then he'll slide in and take command while others are getting sentenced as enemies of the state, which is what he's planning on. But it looks like Miles is onto it, because Miles is kind of standing behind him looking at it. But then, you hear Miles' inner monologue, and he's definitely like, Grumman's gonna double-cross us. I understand this. Because he's no fool. Mama didn't raise no fool. Mama Olivier Armstrong didn't raise no fool. So... you know she didn't. So, we're back to Ed. Ed knows that he has to be taken alive, so it helps in their fights, because he's supposed to be a sacrifice. Somebody takes out all the power, and I don't remember who it was, but the power's gone. I think it might have been Ed on accident.
It was someone on purpose.
Was it? Okay.
And I want to say it was Greed that
blinked, and then the power was out, and I was like, oh, dang it. But so now Pride can't cast shadows without a source of light. So he's just as blind as them. So he can't do his little sneaky snake thing because there's no shadows.
Sneaky snake.
Sneaky, sneaky snake. I'm a snake.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. I'm a sneaky
I'm a
snake.
sneaky snake. I hate us. Okay.
They think Pride's in the forest because he's only controlling the armor like a little puppet with the little hands. The little hands.
I almost bought you that ring. I would have if it wasn't $40.
Well,
I was
don't.
like so close.
I might have found a cheaper one, and I might have bought it.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe on Christmas Day.
You guys, I was on TikTok the other day, and I don't know why this happened, but it was like right after I watched this episode, and I found this ring that just wraps around, and it's these little teeny tiny hands. And Bridget was so affected by the teeny tiny little Celine Bradley shadow hands, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
The little hands creep me out so much. They're always on your face.
I know. They're perfect. I love them.
Yeah, so I found them.
Perfect depiction.
I found them on Amazon, and I found them for way cheaper. And I was like, "Yep, we're getting a matching pair. So you're getting a gold one, and I'm getting a silver one."
I'm so excited! Is that what you were waiting for?
Yeah, it's supposed to come in the mail tomorrow. So that's the last piece I'm waiting on. So you're welcome.
I will wear it forever. I hate it, but I love it so much.
The fact that I got me a matching one with you, I was like, Lord can be gold and I'll be silver.
Yes. Well, that was the thing. I would have to get us both one. I wasn't gonna pay $80 to get us these ugly rings. They weren't cute.
No,
but they were
Amazon
Bradley rings.
Amazon had them for like $12, and I was like, don't mind if I do.
That's right. That is correct. I'm so happy.
I'm little hands.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Little hands and all.
Gotta put it on and just like tiny clap. Little tiny.
And I'll do this from the corner. My Salim face.
And I'll pull out my sword and pretend to kill everything that I love.
And I'll talk like this from the shadows. No. Okay, so they think Pride's in the forest because they're only controlling the armor like a puppet. The chimeras transform and get ready to start fighting Pride. I love that they're using their animal instincts, and they have to hide and kill him before the homunculi kill them. But they can sniff people out using their animal instincts. Ed doesn't want to leave Al, but they have to stay close until after the fight is done. The lion chimera is nocturnal because he's a cat. And the gorilla chimera can sense Gluttony launching an attack and saves them. It's just like tackles them and is like, hey, don't move. The gorilla is now fighting Gluttony. And the final blow, he's like, a final blow to take out Gluttony. And he accidentally punches Ed in the dark. And Ed's first line, why, Mr. Gorilla? I thought we were sticking close together not to lose each other in the dark. And the gorilla just goes, sorry. The whole delivery, I can't do it justice, but the whole delivery in that scene was so funny. Why, Mr. Gorilla? I thought we were sticking close together not to get lost in the dark. And he's just, sorry. Anyway, it was so funny. It made me laugh so much. So Ling now has control of the body again because he can sense the chimera and he can attack Gluttony in the dark.
But Greed's like all Jacqueline in the back of his mind. I love this. I love this.
He's got like his commentary and he's talking out loud and it's just like, it's really fun.
I am totally fine if they want to keep that his character forever.
You know what it is? You know what it is and why you love it? It's Venom. The coat, the evil voice in your head, but they kind of make a fun buddy cop movie. It's Venom.
I feel really called out right now.
That's why you love it.
I have this beautiful picture of Venom from Comic-Con in my desk. It's really called out.
Oh no. So this is your onion and we just peeled back one more layer. Oh, that's really funny. Oh. Anyway, so Ling Greed.
I'm like I don't think you understand how devastated I am right now.
It made sense to me. It's like in my notes. So I was like, yeah, he's got the armor. He's got like a bad guy in his head. They kind of switch off and help each other out. He's great. I mean, it's Venom.
I mean, he's Yuji. In my brain, he's Yuji.
He's Eddie Brock
But
and Venom.
You're right. It is Venom, and now I have. Oh no.
Oops.
Okay, you gotta keep going. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm in turmoil.
So Ling has control of the body again because he can sense the chimera, so he can attack Gluttony in the dark. But oh no, the Gluttony portal opens up, and Gluttony's gonna eat everything since he can't see. But then, as the portal's trying to open up, something super fast comes in and quickly, absolutely slices Gluttony up. The gorilla chimera says, "Stay down, kid," and I was like, "Oh, he cares for Ed like the helpless baby he can be." And so Ling smiles and says, "It might be. I think it is." Bam, bam, bam! Is Lanfan with an amazing automail arm slicing up Gluttony.
My
Love
babe.
it. Love it.
My
And
ship.
that's
My
where
ship
it
is back
ends.
together.
That's where that episode ends. So, after credit, it looks like Ed has the armor arm that Greed has. And I was like, oh. You can see, like, his black hand. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, the quote, the ominous quote. What was that? Why did you just dramatically hit your head? Like,
So, I have a note for the next chapter, and I didn't understand it until right now. Because I guess I wasn't reading fast enough, so I must have like missed part of the explanation. But I feel
well, glad we connected
really
pieces.
stupid now. Yeah,
You'll have to explain it when we get there.
I will.
Okay, so the last little ominous quote that they do at the end: "Are you willing to claim victory from the blood of your friends, or aren't you?"
Yes.
And then I wrote in all caps,
Just so you know.
Oh no, is one of the Chimera peeps gonna die? Because I don't want them to die. I like them. Stop it. Lauren, do you have happy fun facts for us? Other
I
than
only have one fun fact, and that's the
Breedling
chapters.
is Venom.
That's it. I'm really upset that you did that to me.
So sorry.
There's a
I'm
lot
not
of
that
things
sorry,
I have
but
to
I am.
contemplate about my life now. But the content from this episode comes from chapter 68, Portrait of a Family, and chapter 85, The Empty Box, and chapter 86. I'm sorry, I didn't see that there was a third chapter, Servant of Darkness.
Servant
The
of
end.
Darkness. All right.
And here is your Netflix summary for episode 48, Oath in the Tunnel. Here we go. After investigating the twisted roots of the Bradley family tree, Mustang gathers his most loyal troops. Meanwhile, Ed and his allies continue fighting Salim, who shocks everyone by turning on his own kind.
Wow. Whoa. Dang,
I know.
Netflix.
Netflix
Whoa.
sucks, man.
That's
It's
a
really
huge
upsetting.
spoiler, because my jaw literally dropped during that part.
I know.
That's so rude.
I know.
So sick
I
and
know.
rude. Alright, well, let's get there so that we stop spoiling it, because Netflix, jeez.
It's okay. They've already watched it, Bridget. That's why they're listening to this podcast. It's okay.
I'm so offended for them, though. Anyway.
They know.
They know. Do they know? So Gluttony's
they know that
all...
Wing is Eddie Brock, which is upsetting.
You know it is. He eats for free. He runs away.
Stop.
Okay. Gluttony is all sliced up and goes, "Will you stop killing me? I don't want to die anymore. That hurt." It's really stupid. That's a bad voice, but love it.
That was really bad. So bad.
So then there's the quote of why they can sense the homunculi. The ruler of Jin controls the chi, known as the dragon's pulse. They can read the flow of the chi and can train in the darkness. And guess what? It's Fu! Fu is here! Woo! Alright, so one more homunculus is in the settlement nearby that Fu can sense, but he says he's bigger in comparison. We know it's Ho, but we haven't begun to see all the power that Ho has because he's a living, Philosopher's Stone.
I'm so excited.
I'm ready to see Ho just go like intense
I need him
power
to go
up.
ape. Be like,
I need
hey,
him.
You were inside my son. I'm about to destroy you. Yeah, they were inside Al.
I know, but
I know it sounds bad, but it wasn't meant bad.
I want him to go Super Saiyan, and like, I don't know, like I want him to look like in my
I
head.
don't want him to go Super Saiyan.
I
But
want him to look
see
like
some impressive alchemy.
I want
I want to see alchemy that's not pulling a spear out of the ground.
I want him to look like when Sailor Moon does her magic to put her suit on, but that's his powers.
You want him to have a magic girl transformation.
I really do, so bad. I don't know why. Fighting in my daylight. And running from a real fight. He is the one called Daddy Ho. Alright. So stop. Okay. Ed goes to help, but the explosion shoots him back. The Lion Chimera is getting tired, and Pride is just taking it and wearing the Lion Chimera out. Like, he's punching him, and his head is just turning, and it's the most terrifying little thing, and I'm like, this little twerp needs to die. Then we pan over to Roy and Madame Christmas. Madame Christmas gives Roy photos of Salim being around for years and years and years, longer than an average human, and is a homunculus. And the line, she goes, yeah, because he had a father named King, and I was like, boo! I'm still mad that they named him King.
Yeah,
Golly. And so I go, oh no, the townspeople go over there and are burning a light. Oh. Then we pan back to the fight. Sorry, we jump around a lot in this episode. And the townspeople are running over because there's a huge explosion, and they're bringing light, which causes shadows, and it slices the lion up, and now Salim can fight again because they drop the lantern, it catches a bush on fire, and now Pride can crawl around.
And now there is fire.
Yeah, fire. And then dumb little Pride goes, appearances rarely show the truth. Isn't that right, little alchemist? And I go, Pride is so intense and is absolutely just pushing Ed's buttons.
So in the Japanese, he calls Ed his little alchemist.
Ooh.
And I'm like, that's saucy.
Oh, I like that.
Very saucy.
You're
and I shrieked a little bit, and I literally shouted at the screen, he got so tall, though.
He's tall, y'all stop it! He grew 5 inches!
Now. You don't understand.
Oh, that's funny.
That's good.
So then in the midst of that, we pan back over to Roy. And then we realize that Roy's real name is Christmastang, aka, like, Christmas. Madame Christmas is really Roy's foster mother. And I was like, oh, this was a turn I wasn't expecting, and I love this so much.
Weird tie-in that I
right?
did.
I really love it. And he goes, I'll buy you a new bar because he's going to destroy this one. And then he's like, are the girls gone? Are they gone? And she goes, of course you're worried about the girls because, you know, she runs she's like the pimp. And Mustang's asking about the girls, and we can just absolutely see where all of Mustang's personality and sass comes from. It's from Madame Christmas. And I
thought that the
love
girls were... Maybe I just made this up in my mind because I wanted it to be canon, and now it's just a really good headcanon. I thought that the girls were his foster siblings. And that's why he cares so much about them and knows who they are.
I'm pretty sure.
They're probably not.
It's a
They're
brothel.
Hoes,
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Pretty sure it's a bar brothel.
But in my heart,
I do love that
they're all
little
siblings,
headcanon. Yeah, I love that.
They just care about each other.
So look at this little sweetheart over here. He's Roy Christmastang.
His name is Chris.
Christmastang. Christmas. Roy Christmastang. Adorable. Okay. So Mustang's reunited with Hawkeye and some of his team. Yay! And Hayate is their watchdog, and I say, oh. And Hawkeye has the whole Bradley itinerary, which is good. The Eastern Battalion, now, because we pan over to that, it might not invade Central as planned, because security is now heightened. The Fuhrer is missing, and they're going to continue to see this through no matter the outcome. They won't turn back, because if they fail, they still die. And they still have to rebuild the country, even if they win. Their one order, because Mustang's, like, giving this whole speech of, like, why we're still doing this, and their one order from him is, don't die.
Don't die.
And
That is all.
they better stinking listen. Let me tell ya.
They'll try.
They
I don't trust anything about
better
this next 15 episodes.
stinking
I really do not.
listen. They better stinking listen.
Don't trust.
Why, yada. Alright. Pan back to Pride. Pride is mad that he can't cut Ed because Ed used Greed's thing, found out the alchemy build for it, and is now using the like impenetrable skin, which is kind of cool and kind of creepy because he's Venom.
Oh. I was told that it was just, it's his,
the carbon,
northern
blah, blah, blah.
stuff, because his thing is also carbon fiber. That was the thing that I was confused about. I was like, why can't Pride cut through carbon fiber? I don't understand. And it's because it's the same crap that is the ultimate shield. And I didn't know that.
They break it down a lot.
Reading fast enough.
The Ed keeps his northern automail, and it's carbon fiber base, so he can use the base to create enough, because you have to have enough of something to create the armor like Greed. He can't do his whole body, but he can do like parts, because it's enough in that. So, because of that, Pride fights dirty and uses Al's body to fight Ed, because he knows he won't hurt Al's body. And I was like, what?
Evil.
A punk kid.
Evil child.
Fu uses a flash bomb on Pride, and Pride literally yells, "No!" So maybe it does something to him. I don't know. Lanfan is still chasing Gluttony, but her automail is hurting her because she hasn't had it in long enough. Like, she just had major surgery for a lost appendage. That body has not healed. So, in the Flash, Al is caught by Mr. Gorilla, and taken to a safe place, so he can save Al from being puppeteered. And they know about Lanfan because they can sense her presence. But then all of a sudden, Pride starts talking about like the odds and all of this, and that he needs more power and it's not fair. And you're like, where's this going? And then I'm like, oh no, is Pride about to eat Gluttony? And straight up, he eats Gluttony to gain his power by, like, ingesting his Philosopher's Stone. So now Pride has 2 Philosopher's Stones in him. Ugh. And so, but he can now smell their moves. So he's double powerful and needed Gluttony's sense of smell so he can fight. And he can smell their moves. It also has Gluttony's hunger. So, great. Ugh. But he can smell Ho, and he's in the forest trying to fix and help Al. And that's how the episode ended. And I was like, so he's double powerful. He can smell where they are. He knows Ho's there. He knows Ho's there trying to fix Al. And the episode ends. It was very stressful of a cliffhanger. So, the after credits. I wrote a lot for the after credits. Father is meeting with the evil leaders about Mustang and his betrayal. Olivier says she thinks Mustang would take the Fuhrer's wife as hostage. So he's branded as a traitor. So now he's got to work in the shadows too. And I said, is she throwing him off their scent? And yep, Mustang and Hawkeye do end up taking down security, but they're very polite and tell the Fuhrer's wife that they're not going to harm her. Mustang offers her his hand, and we assume she takes it. He says it's important. I think that they're going to get her to turn on Bradley and kind of manipulate his emotion, because, you know, Hawkeye was there when she said, like, hey, he chose her as a wife, and so that there's kind of an emotional tie there, and she was talking about, like, how he was, like, nervous to ask her on a date and things like that. So he's going to maybe have conflicting feelings, because they think he loves her, and is he going to be loyal to Father, or does he really love his wife? And then Al is back and with Ho, but Ed is fighting Pride, and they look like they're losing. Ho stops Ed from fighting Pride, and now the day is starting. And that is the end of the after credit scene. Like, a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff. Yeah. Do you have fun facts?
So much crap is about to happen. I only have a chapter. It's chapter 87, The Oath Made in the Underground. I do have important questions.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
I have 4 important questions.
Okay.
So, number 1, will Alphonse be okay after Pride is done using him as a human puppet?
Yeah.
Number 2, will Ed and Ho be able to move past their iffy past to be a family of cool, super awesome guys?
Cool, super awesome guys.
Yeah. Number 3, what is Mustang Squad's plan now that they have Mrs. Bradley?
Yeah, what's that gonna be?
And number 4, I refuse to think that Bradley actually died, so when is he gonna show up again? And what's he gonna do?
He's for sure gonna show up again. No body, no dead. Yeah. And I also want to know what Winry was gonna say to Ed, and stopped. Yeah.
That she led him.
She love him. She wanna have his babies. They love each other.
She thinks he's pretty.
Yeah,
Sorry.
let's shout out to Miss Congeniality for all you babies that might be listening and don't know what we're singing.
Oh God. No.
Yeah, so I think that's good questions. So next time we're gonna watch episodes 49 through 52. Episode 49 is called Filial Affection. Is it Final Affection or Filial Affection? I think it's Filial. I don't know. I wrote it. Episode 50, Upheaval and Central. Episode 51, The Immortal Legion. That's not good. Episode 52, Combined Strength. Is that maybe Ho and Ed teaming up? The fact that it comes after The Immortal Legion means that's not great. They need help.
No. Yes.
Well, so that was it. We're almost at the end. We're gonna be at episode 52, so that'll be what, 12 episodes left after this next recording? Does it go to 64?
Yeah. I'm starting to feel some intense trepidation. I also hate that I cut this so that we hit every cliffhanger, but
how did you do that? How did you do that?
I don't know. I've never seen this show, man. I'm doing my best.
You hit every cliffhanger because I was like, ew, what?
It wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened, man.
Yeah, it was really intense.
Well, that's really all I got. And I gotta work pretty early tomorrow. So
yeah, I gotta go get on a plane in less than 12 hours now.
Well, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. We'll be fine.
That'll be
We'll
good.
Be fine.
Think of the little pride hand rings and how happy that'll make you.
I'll look at him and go,
Oh, I'm gonna hate it so much. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna hate it so much. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody who's watching, I don't know if anybody's still on our live. There's still one person watching.
It's Michelle.
I think it might consider me watching our own episode.
Oh, it's you. It's you.
Me.
That's fine.
I don't know. All right.
It's been you the whole time.
It's been me the whole time. Okay. All right. No. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. We love anime. And we love you.
And we love you.
Bye.